Everybody, time for Dickey's Deep Thoughts. And today, Jim is telling us everything we need to know about the eclipse, or as some are calling this, the super wolf blood moon. That sounds really ominous.
What a name, right?
Yeah.
So first, let's break down what that name means.
Okay.
So a supermoon, as the moon goes around the Earth, it's not a perfect circle, so
Okay.
at some points it's a little bit closer. So a supermoon is just the full moon at its closest point to the Earth. So that happens every year. The wolf moon is just the full moon of January. So that happens every year.
Why wolf?
It's just the name. I don't know.
It's
I don't
just
make the
it.
rules.
Wolves are sweet. Wolves are
Well,
sweet.
right,
This was decided
okay.
well before
It just
we
sounds
were here.
really cool. Okay.
And then the blood moon, that's because this is going to be a total lunar eclipse. That is the sort of rare event that really will make this special. So let's go ahead and take this full, guys, and let's talk about the lunar eclipse. So here's what happens. The sun, the Earth, the moon come into line in that order. So the full moon will pass into the Earth's shadow on Sunday night into early Monday morning, and then we'll start to take on a bit of a reddish hue. That's why it's called the blood moons. This is sort of the stages of what you can expect to see. First, the full moon comes out bright in the sky. Then we'll start to see, as the partial eclipse begins, the shadow of the Earth slowly creep over the moon, and once it fully takes over the moon there, it starts to take on that reddish color. So why? Why does it turn red? Well, basically the moon, the light we see, it doesn't light itself up. We're just seeing reflection of sunlight off of the moon's surface. During an eclipse, when it's in the shadow, you're not getting any direct sunlight onto the moon because, again, the Earth is blocking it with its shadow. So any light you do see has to pass through the Earth's atmosphere, so it's being scattered. It's being refracted, and the light you do see ends up being red. It's kind of like how, especially during the fall, when the moon rises right at sunset, it takes on that same reddish tint. It's the same effect going on, and that's what gives it that blood moon appearance. So here's the times to know. The partial eclipse is going to begin at 10:33 Sunday night. The full eclipse, meaning when the red starts to appear, that's at 11:41 Sunday night. Just after midnight, the full eclipse will end, and then the whole thing comes to an end just before 2 a.m. on Monday. But if you want to set your alarms, the time to know, the maximum eclipse is just after midnight, 12:12 a.m. on Monday morning, that is. Sunday night, Monday morning. Of course, the question is, will the skies be clear to actually see that? If you have clouds, you can't see the lunar eclipse. I was a little worried, to be honest with you, earlier on in the week. But I think the front that comes through early Sunday morning gets through quick enough that we see the dry air sweep in, we clear skies out. I think we get the full show from that lunar eclipse. It is, though, going to be chilly. It's going to be windy.
Oof.
Temperatures will be falling through the 40s, so bundle up as you go outside to see this rare event in our skies.
Is there a spot in Southwest Florida where it would be best to see, or do you just have to find a high point if there is one?
I think the key is try to get away from the city lights, so probably not downtown Fort Myers. If you can, head inland and just make sure you have a clear view of the sky, no obstruction. And also, you know, it's going to be 3 years before we see this again.
Oh, really?
So you might want to consider setting those alarms or at least staying up a little bit later.